Good Tuesday morning. I'm Stacey Spivey here in the studio. Megan Malaris is working from home, and Terrain Kirksey also joining me here in the studio. We have been tracking Isaias. I can't say it. Isaias. There we go. It's a tricky one to say.
Yeah.
We've been saying it for a while, covering it. A lot of people already weighing in on our Facebook page. Kay already asked what is going on at Ocean Isle. So Terrain, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it over to you to see the latest in that.
All right, let's talk about it. It's been moving pretty fast since it made landfall last night. Now it is well off to our north and east. It's moving out of the state, at least the center of circulation there. It's getting closer and closer to Maryland and also Delaware. So we're not going to have to worry about Isaias anymore around here, at least across North Carolina. The seas may still be choppy for a bit, though. I wouldn't get in the water if you're at the beach. But as far as what the sky conditions are, well, we're going to start to see a lot of sunshine, not only here in the Piedmont, but I think most of the state will end up with a mostly sunny day. High temperatures today will end up in the mid-80s. We'll also have a nice northerly breeze at around 5 to 15 miles per hour. I can't totally rule out an isolated shower or thunderstorm this afternoon on into this evening, but that rain chance looks fairly low at around 20 to maybe 30% at best. And then we go back to more typical summertime weather for the rest of the week. High temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. And we'll see that rain chance Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday right around 40 to 50%. That's a quick look at your 7-day forecast.
Well, coastal communities in our state are waking up to no power and flooding. Isaias made landfall at Ocean Isle just after 11 last night. So that's an answer to Kay's question here on our Facebook feed. It caused widespread damage there, and we're hearing reports of fires. But in nearby Wrightsville Beach, a much different, more peaceful story this morning. WFMY News' Alma McCarty is there, and she reports there are widespread power outages in the area.
Alma McCarty here, still at Wrightsville Beach, where Hurricane Isaias has come and gone, as our meteorologists have been saying really last night and all morning. It's been a fast-moving storm, as Terrain was mentioning earlier. It's going to be hitting Canada by later this afternoon into tomorrow. So this thing is really moving, and you can tell it is gone from the beaches here. Wrightsville Beach in particular. We of course also visited the Wilmington area. We are still working to learn a little bit more about the damage and destruction, but from just taking a look here, there isn't significant flooding by any means. There might be some down power lines that we did see as we were driving through yesterday, but if you take a look over at the beach, no real problems over there. But the main thing, the main concern, it's going to be the power outages. But this was something that the power crews, the power companies were expecting with a storm of this size, a Category 1 hurricane, when it did come to shore. Because they were expecting it, they were prepared for it. And so they had crews on standby to the east and the Raleigh area that are going to be assisting with restoring the power here and to the many other people that are without. We are told by the North Carolina Department of Public Safety that their latest estimate is about 350,000 people in our state without power, many of them due to this hurricane that rolled through last night. So the goal today, obviously, for these companies, and I'm guessing that most of the people visiting here, they would love their power to be restored. So we're hoping that that will be the case, and we will of course bring you more updates throughout the day as we tour around the areas that could have seen damage last night. Alma, thank you. Of course, Isaias is what everyone is talking about this morning. We are getting a lot of content sent into us, and it's been trending on Twitter overnight. So let's take a look at some of the crazy videos and pictures of flooding and intense winds along the coast. SV News tweeting out video at Oak Island. You can see the wind in that video pushing the flooded roads. And if you could hear the sound, it was so loud out there. And viewer Johnny sharing what downtown Wilmington looked like around 1 this morning. Rain still bearing down on the coast. And PD Weather posting this photo at Oak Island, saying the town weathered the storm, but flooding is pretty bad there, with it reaching almost this man's thighs. Pretty deep out there. And down in Myrtle Beach, close to where the eye of the hurricane hit a few hours earlier, last night, excuse me, the storm surge pushing waves up along the beach and piers. We keep telling you the worst of the storm is going to be that flooding, and that's what Carolina storm spotters are seeing on Carolina Beach with the storm surge filling up roads. And if you are in that area, you'll want to stay out of the waters and not drive through them. Another big issue, as Alma told us, is lack of power. Right now, almost 50,000 people are without power in Brunswick County, where Ocean Isle is. Overall, there are still more than 330,000 outages statewide. A lot of people already weighing in, asking how different beaches are this morning. And actually, Colleen, she must be at Myrtle Beach, she says, is beautiful this morning. Not a lot of damage, and good to see that. But it seems like power outages are the problem. So guys, to bring you into this conversation, to line it up a little bit, when the power is out, what do you do to pass the time? Turan?
Sleep and eat. That's about it. that's a good portion of my life anyway, even when the power is on. So yeah, I think that's what I usually do, especially if it's nighttime. I just go ahead and just go to bed. If it's 7 p.m., power's out, might as well go ahead and wrap up the day and take a nap. But I guess, you know, if you have more people around, you can play games if it's the middle of the day, things like that, or just kind of sit outside and hang out. But if I have a choice, if all options are available, sleep and eat will be 1 and 2.
Yeah, always got to have the snacks nearby. Megan, what about you? How do you pass the time when the power's out from a storm?
Well, I don't know. I haven't experienced it lately with a baby in the house. I'm sure it would be different, you know, from when I grew up and when the power went out. We would all play games around the flashlights, and that was a lot of fun. But again, you know, obviously a serious situation at the coast with these hundreds of thousands of people without power. Thankfully, the weather, the temperatures seem to be milder, because if it were really hot with those temperatures in the 90s, it could be a much more serious situation. Nonetheless, of course, anytime the power goes out, you want to check on your elderly neighbors, anyone who might be vulnerable and needs help. We see this time and again, not only with storms in the summertime, but also with winter snow type events in the winter as well. Let's check some of our comments here. We're still hearing from folks who are either at the beach or know someone who is. Jason says his family's at Garden City. No damage there, just a little flooding on the inlet side. Shay said they're in OKI, more Surfside, and they're fine. Haven't gone out yet, though, this morning. Shay, be careful as you go out. Just make sure, of course, to watch for any down power lines. Those could be dangerous, of course. She said her friends were second row back from the beach and have no power and have watched flooding carry off 2 cars. Wow. Hopefully everybody's okay. Shay, if your friends have a video of that, please ask them if they wouldn't mind sending it to us. And then again, we're just continuing to monitor this because we want to make sure that we don't downplay the severity of this. Even as a Category 1, these storms can be very severe. For those of us inland too, sometimes we've seen flooding be the most devastating side effect of this. So Turan, hopefully, you know, we have missed the worst of this storm and we're in for a nicer day here in the Triad, right?
Oh yeah, you know, the weather is certainly improving rapidly. As we mentioned, we were on kind of the very back edge of this shield of rain that you see now moving on into Virginia. And then the highest wind gust that we had here in the Triad was somewhere right around 20 to 25 miles per hour. So yeah, of course, you know, the worst of it certainly was along and east of I-95, where they did have the heavier rainfall. They had wind gusts well in excess of 60 to 70 miles per hour there as well, along with the coastal flooding. And as you mentioned, flooding is the main threat in any time that you do have a tropical system. That's the thing you have to watch out for the most, along with the very strong winds. But all in all, though, the weather is rapidly improving, and as you mentioned, it's also good that the weather is not going to be bad for the people that do have power outage issues. The crews can get out there and not have to worry about the weather giving them any issues as they get ready to hook things back up. We'll show you the 7-day forecast that we do see an increase in heat and humidity as we go through the next few days, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, let's get you updated on some other headlines this morning. New COVID-19 cases continue dropping in our state, a welcome relief. North Carolina added a little more than 1,300 new cases Monday, bringing the statewide total to more than 126,000. Let's look at counties. Guilford County has more than 5,200 confirmed cases since the pandemic started. Forsyth County, more than 4,900. Alamance County, more than 2,200. Some good news here. There are more than 105,000 people in our state who have already recovered from this. That's about 83% of total positive cases so far. We'll have another update from the state health department as usual on WFMY News 2 at noon. Businesses closed for 5 months during this pandemic so far could reopen this Friday if state leaders decide to move North Carolina into phase 3. Phase 2, which already has been extended twice, is scheduled to expire Friday. But some businesses like the Bearded Goat and bars in downtown Greensboro, which have been closed for months, don't think that's going to happen. Some owners expect phase 2 will extend to at least September. Governor Cooper has not said that. He's expected to make his decision on which phase of reopening North Carolina should be in tomorrow. We'll keep you updated. Mount Zion Baptist Church is again partnering with Cone Health to do more COVID-19 testing. So far, 1,500 people or tests have been provided through this community partnership. You can get the free test tomorrow, Wednesday, from 8 a.m. to noon. Cars will enter the church at Main Street entrance on Alamance Church Road. Parking lot guides will direct you from there.
The American Red Cross is closely monitoring Tropical Storm Isaias, but the Red Cross says getting prepared for severe weather will be different, of course, this year due to the coronavirus pandemic. WFMY News 2's Candace Redd has everything you need to know about hurricane preparedness amid this health crisis.
The big question is, are you prepared for severe weather? If not, you need to get ready. We know that the Atlantic hurricane season started June 1st and ends November 30th. Well, this year's hurricane season will be an active one. Forecasters predict 18 to 22 named storms will form in the Atlantic basin. Well, the American Red Cross is reminding the public to always be prepared before a disaster strikes. Well, you should have an emergency plan and kit with supplies for about 3 days. That includes a gallon of water per person per day, non-perishable food, a flashlight with extra batteries, a first aid kit, medications, and important documents.
You want to remember things like face coverings, hand sanitizers, any cleaning products that you can travel with. Those types of items can also help you during this pandemic environment that we're in now. Everybody's having to adapt their plans in order for this hurricane season, and that's a way that you can adapt your family's emergency plan to be ready.
With extreme weather, tornadoes are possible, and for that reason, the American Red Cross also wants you to know the terms. For example, you should know the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Now, when it comes to a watch, that means a tornado is possible, and with a warning, that means a tornado is already occurring or will occur soon. But for more details on that, all you have to do is visit our website. That's WFMYnews2.com.
All right, here's the last look at your 7-day forecast. The weather for the next few days after today, summertime. Today, not too bad. We'll have a northerly breeze that'll kind of keep things somewhat comfortable. It still will be a fairly warm afternoon with highs in the mid-80s, small chance of a pop-up shower and storm. And then we're going to just crank everything back up again. It's going to feel like August again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Get excited for that. If you like uncomfortable weather, this is for you. And this is sarcastic excitement from me because I'm not looking forward to that at all. And then as we go through the weekend, the rain chances go back down a little bit, and temperatures, though, still stay fairly warm. So there you go. There's your 7-day forecast.
Well, very thankful that everything has cleared out in our area, at least sunshine today, which I'm excited about. But we will have the latest from our crew along the coast, a look at the aftermath from Isaias. So be sure to watch WFMY News 2 at noon. We're going to have the latest on that. And then later tonight, we're going to be covering it as well. But for now, I think we are done with After GMS. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow morning. Y'all have a good day.